The Maestro.
Dirty.
Shots!
Why?
This is cool. Let it go.
How about you hold it?
There's a lady in the waiting.
Yo, yo, yo.
She got a lady.
Welcome to Riding Dirty with your boy. So let's talk some harsh reality. Let's talk some harsh reality of our dearly departed number one seeds. And everybody went on about the seeding, who should have been number one, who should have been number two, yada, yada, blase, rebop. However, there's one problem with that. Generally, when the number one seeds don't make it, who do you expect to fall in line? Duh, math isn't hard. The number two seed. So look at what we have left. A 13, a 14, a 1, Alabama, and a tree. A tree seed. Now, we can cut this however we want to cut this. But let's talk about those dearly departed one seeds and the fact that we have no two seeds. Because there's something that all of them had in common. But let's focus on the number one seeds. North Carolina, Texas, Virginia Tech. What did Marsh say about Virginia Tech? Had not showed them anything all season. As solid as they were and as impressive as they were for being a solid team in a not necessarily super strong ACC, Virginia Tech was just, yeah, they're the choice. And Marsh put it very eloquently. Didn't really show me something that made me super convinced that they were going to be dominant as what you would expect the number one seed to be. What did the Blazers say about Texas? Blazers said Texas too inconsistent. Not really showing him anything. Was curious about how they selectively fed Arthur Lattimore, how his game was not being integrated as much as it should, or any of the stars for that matter. And the reality was that was going to come back and haunt them. Right again, Blaze. What did B-Ron say about North Kakalakis? Didn't win any of the games the way we thought they would. In other words, the games that we thought we were going to be super huge, big wins for North Carolina, not so much. The games that we thought were going to be relatively solid wins, some of them end up being losses. The fact that those wins that came, some of those wins against teams that should not have mattered in that particular way, that just should have been just another date on the calendar, needed either major comeback work from Ilgauskas or Flag. And sometimes, even though when Flag or Ilgauskas were not in the game, more specifically Flag, really, North Carolina seemed to play better as a team. What does that tell you about the lack of fluidity within the program? So when you have those things going for you, that inconsistency shows out in a one-and-done situation if another team can exploit it, and that's exactly what happened to all of them. Two, I think the reality of those 4-1 seeds, and for this one I'm going to lean on Texas. You have a player that's more than capable of being the centerpiece for your offense, not because he's selfish, but because he's effective. Arthur Lattimore always has his hand on the ball when it's supposed to be on the ball. We've seen that throughout prep. We've seen that through his life in SWU. And while in SimWorld you see that you should have more opportunities to go to other people, when you have a player that can be both an effective leader and an effective X factor at the same time, you have to take advantage of that. And let's look at the game that Texas lost. It was pretty much like the games that Texas lost throughout the season. Who was not in the game for the bulk of the end of the game, and then who did not touch the ball when it seemed to matter? Enough said. When you have a cat that's him needs to touch the ball. And Texas didn't do that with Arthur Lattimore. When you have a cat that's him, that is selectively effective, North Carolina, Cooper Flag, and he touches the ball too much, recognizing that, oh, this day is not going well early is the coach's responsibility. So how do we set that up for success? Well, we do that by getting the ball out of his hands into some of the other more capable players on the team. Okay. Virginia Tech, quite very simply, got overmatched by Virginia. When I say overmatched, Virginia took away all those things that Virginia Tech does well. They took away their ball movement. They took away their ability to reshape the timing of a possession. It took away their ability to be quasi-effective in terms of how they will push the ball up the floor, and made them half-dimensional. By making them half-dimensional, what did that mean? Virginia Tech was not able to get settled. Virginia kept it in the mud, kept it in the dirt, kept it what they were supposed to do, and guess what? Took the win. And third, lastly, at least for today, what the 3 number 1 seeds did, or in this case did not do, that is probably central to the reason that they're no longer in the tournament. They did not feel the need early enough to remake adjustments. Now, what does that mean? That means when you saw the strategy of your standard not working, you stayed with it, which is commendable. However, you can stay with something too long. Some coaches break the games up into 3 minutes. Some coaches break the game up into 5 minutes. Some coaches break the game up into 12 minutes, whatever. I'm not going to bag anybody's philosophy. But you see in those increments, okay, by this particular point, we need to be here. We need to have done this. That's what I'm saying. It's what some of the better coaches do. And in that, it gives them a chance to see if this strategy is working, if this setup is working, if this type of defense working, is this type of offense working? Are we getting the leverage that we need? All those things come into play. Well, guess what? When you see your strategy not working, across whatever timeline you want to give it, you need to make changes. And when your game is not the standard, let me explain this real quick. If I'm so good, it doesn't matter what you do, I'm the standard. None of our number 1 seeds are that good. Alabama always makes adjustments. The other 3 selectively makes adjustments, but generally those adjustments come way too late, as we saw, and that is another huge reason why they are not only no longer number 1 seeds, they're gone seeds. So that's what it is. You know the deal. Holler at your boy. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you think about it. Let me know how you want to talk about it. Let me know how you want to think about it. What do you feel? Why do you feel those number 1 seeds are no longer with us? What do you think could have been different that might have made a difference to allow those number 1 seeds to still be in the tournament? You know your boy want to know. Getting ready for the quad. Alabama only 1 seed left. Are they in danger? Is it easy? What you think? Yell at your boy. Let me know the deal. All right, fellas. Everybody knows the deal. You might be riding dirty with Maestro, but we never let Jason Bourne borrow our car.
Oh, wait, you want me to read?
Thank you again for checking out the Maestro's Dirty
Shorts.
Is it last call? Oh. Have you seen my glasses?
Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind.
The Maestro. Dirty.
Shorts!